Are you feeling a trifle sporty?
Yes.
Then you've tuned into the right station, all right. I'm Wes Wesley, and it's time for Sunday Grandstand. And today it's Horses for Courses. It's that great day on the horse racing calendar, the Grand National, when the best horses and jockeys battle it out for the prestigious first prize. A fantastic race, you can be sure. And now, let's go down to the horse racing circuit, where the going's good, and attendance of 100,000 spectators are expected for this glorious event indeed. Well, here we are. And oh dear, what's this? There's no one there. No spectators, no horses, and no jockeys. Oh dear, I must have confused my weekends. Never mind. There's something going on in the local high street. Oh yes, look, it's none other than #1 Sankirtan devotee, Maha Big Buck Das. He's stood near Super Snaps. And what's this? He's not alone. Yes, there are 5 Save the Children workers stood between the post office and the co-op. And that's not all. Outside Horace McCall's is a big issue vendor. And do I see a catalogue woman? Indeed I do. Well, it looks like it's going to be an eventful afternoon. Meanwhile, just a quarter of a mile away in Let's Be Avenue, Mrs. Nora Nag is opening the front door to number 26, a fairly elderly lady. A good pair of legs, a winner of the village egg and spoon race in 1945. Here she is, testing her steadiness on the garden path. Looks around, she strokes the cat, holds tight to her handbag, now looks towards the garden gate, and she's under starter's orders. The gate's open, and she's off! Leaves the cat standing through the garden gate, left along Let's Be Avenue at steady speed, past number 24, on she goes past number 22, gets her head down, now punching an incline, up towards the high street, easy girl. Past number 18, on she goes, looks left into the window at number 10, waves to Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith returns the wave, and now she approaches the high street. About to take the corner, sees a Hare Krishna poster on the wall, making good progress. Takes the corner wide, onto the high street, 2 furlongs to go. Passes Ladbrokes, and she's taken a left into the greengrocers. Picks up a cauliflower, half a pound of tomatoes, a bag of potatoes and a bunch of bananas. Takes them to the counter, that's £1.95. Opens her handbag, opens her purse. Now she's got 2 tenors, given one to the greengrocer, and she's out with £8.5 change. Leaves the greengrocers and back onto the high street, glances at her shopping list. Looks ahead, and she's coming to Horace McCall's, dodges the big issue vendor, into Horace McCall's, buys the Daily Record, costs 20p, hands over 20p, 17.85 remaining, carries on, she's going well. Now comes the first Save the Children worker. Would she like to contribute by direct debit? No, she wouldn't. Passes the first Save the Children, she's going well. Passes the second Save the Children worker, she's going well, and she's coming to the flower shop, shopping list in one hand, shopping in the other, and a handbag around her neck, into the flower shop. Half a dozen carnations, please. Pays that for £1, and she's back on the high street, 16.85 in her purse. Tells the catalogue woman to go get a proper job. Passes the catalogue woman. She's got 16.85 in her purse, 16.85, and she's approaching Maha Big Buck Das. She's slowed down, he's hitting her up, but she's popped into Super Snaps. It's going to be a photo finish. And now she comes at £14. Maha Big Buck Das approaches, hits her for £2, she gives him 2, he hits her for 5, and what a finish! She gives him the whole lot, and she's taking a book, a CD, and a fridge magnet, and it's all over! First place, Maha Big Buck Das with £14, second Super Snaps £2.85, and third place the greengrocers with £1.95. Okay, so I've got a few other ones which are a bit bizarre. That was a long one. Okay, I'll skip those ones. So we'll just go straight into Bhagavad Gita, as it never was. This is chapter 3. So I'm trying to get some kind of... Can everyone hear that okay? Arjuna Das. This is chapter 3. Bhagavad Gita as it never was, Balmi Yoga. Arjuna Das, the mighty Sankirtan devotee, said to Krishna Das, his Sankirtan leader, why do you want me to engage in this ghastly Sankirtan? If you think in a warm temple is better than being on the street. My intelligence is bewildered and I'm completely fried. Please tell me decisively, should I or shouldn't I do Sankirtan today? The great Sankirtan leader Krishna Das said, oh mindless Arjuna, I have already explained there are 2 classes of devotee. One likes to stay back at the temple and the other prefers to go out on Sankirtan. Not by merely avoiding Sankirtan can one achieve freedom from frostbite. Nor by doing Sankirtan in your Brahmin underpants can one attain perfection. Everyone is forced by British weather to wrap up in as many clothes as he has acquired. No one can refrain from wearing anything, not even for a moment. One who restrains himself from wearing long johns, but whose mind dwells on toilet hand dryers, certainly freezes himself and is called a mind bender. On the other hand, one who tries to wear as many pairs of trousers as possible, not attached to how people see him, is by far warmer. Get into your Sankirtan, it is far better than spacing out in the shops. One cannot even maintain first place in the prasadam queue unless he's prepared to really work. Working hard on Sankirtan has to be performed, otherwise you'll get worked up anyway, and if you don't get into satisfaction, you may not remain free from bandage. At the beginning of the marathon, the Sankirtan leader sent forth generations of devotees and blessed them by saying, "Don't come back till you've done your quota." The slows will be easy to take to the cleaners on Sankirtan, and by cooperating with the Sankirtan devotees, prosperity will reign for ISKCON. However, watch out for the long arm of the law. They will certainly consider us a thief. Devotees on Sankirtan are released from all kinds of belly rumblings because they eat whole shops of food offered first for sacrifice. Others have very small helpings of food, but Sankirtan devotees rarely eat enough to fill a bin. All devotees prefer eating out the rain, but Sankirtan devotees can't stop eating even in the rain and consider this performance their main duty. Regular Sankirtan devotees are eternally situated in all-pervading rain and snow. What a sacrifice. My dear Arjuna Das, one who shies away from Sankirtan because of the bad weather, certainly in a marathon can't win. Living only to satisfy his senses, such a person lives to avoid the rain. But one who takes pleasure in an umbrella, and whose human life is one of snivels and dribbles, who is satisfied in the self only, fully saturated, for him there is no dry clothes. A totally soaked Sankirtan man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of water from his clothes, nor has he any need to depend on any other type of living. Therefore, without being attached to being warm, dry and cosy, get out there and go for it, and you'll attain the supreme. Great Sankirtan heroes attained huge scores by really doing their duty. Therefore, just for the sake of shaking down all people in general, you should ask for big donations, especially from those that work. Whatever actions a great Sankirtan devotee performs is usually because common men he's had to follow, sometimes right up the street. And whatever records he sets in the marathon, the whole of ISKCON pursues. Oh, son of Peter, I've been doing Sankirtan for years, collected millions of pounds, and I'm still out here chasing the karmis around. For if I ever failed to fill up my Sankirtan bag with heaps of Lakshmi, certainly all new devotees would follow my path. All our attempts to get them to do Sankirtan would be put to ruination. I would be the cause of creating unwanted excuses for not doing Sankirtan, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all temple presidents. As people ignore us on Sankirtan, we, being learned, may similarly act and ignore them, and instead chase other people on the path. So as not to disrupt whole groups of ignorant men, a learned Sankirtan devotee picks off the slows at the back. He should induce them to empty their entire contents of their wallets, and by working in that spirit, they won't have any money left to engage in any other activities. The spaced-out karmi, bewildered by the influence of his wife, sometimes thinks himself the spender of his money, when in actuality it is she that does on things of a material nature. One who is a good Sankirtan devotee does not get involved with fancy boga and taking rest in the toilet, knowing well the difference between a good score and a total space-out. A Sankirtan devotee that gets bewildered finds himself doing all sorts of silly things, but if he keeps going year after year, he eventually wises up and gains some proper knowledge. Therefore, O Arjuna Das, surrendering your whole collection unto me, when you've finished for the day without wanting a percentage, with no claims to a Sankirtan car, fancy living quarters, or a shapely wife, just get out there on the street and fight. Those Sankirtan devotees on my party, who do like I say, and really go for it, become free from the bondage of married life. But those who out of envy don't bother their butts are bereft of all large donations and ruined in their endeavours for winning a marathon. Even a good Sankirtan devotee has a slim day, every now and again, but one who won't tell you his score is being sneaky. What can deception accomplish? There are ways to avoid getting fried on Sankirtan, otherwise one may consider the karmis stumbling blocks to achieving high scores. It is far better to engage a person favourably than rip him off completely. Doing small but leaving a person nicely is much better than causing an obstruction and chasing a poor fellow up the wrong path. It could even be dangerous. Arjuna said, "Why am I sometimes impelled to eat huge amounts of boga, ramming it down my throat with great force?" Krishnadas the Sankirtan leader said, "Because you are a lusty pig, Arjuna. And once you get into the mode of passion, you become an all-devouring sinful enemy of Holland and Barrett. As fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, or as an embryo is covered by the womb, your face, O Arjuna, becomes covered by different degrees of chocolate." Thus the so-called wise Sankirtan devotee's face becomes covered by his eternal enemy, chocolate, which never satisfies and makes your belly burn like fire and gives you pimples. The bead bag pockets and underneath the woolly hat are stashing places for this chocolate, which often melts and covers the living entity. Therefore, O Arjuna Das, O best of the dwellers in Holland and Barretts, curb this great craving for chocolate and slay the shop assistant before she has a chance to sell it to you. The senses are higher than matter, the mind is higher than the senses, intelligence is still higher than the mind, and the soul even higher than the intelligence, and your average Glaswegian even higher than a kite. Thus knowing oneself to being higher than a kite, steady oneself on Sankirtan and oil the wheels of your trolley and conquer this insatiable enemy known as rust. Jai. Jai.